So what we get here is this, guys. Question A. Two brothers, Owen and Peter, begin work in 2005 on starting salaries of 20,000 and 17,000 per annum respectively. Owen's salary increased by €500 per annum, and Peter's salary increased by €1,250 per annum. The salary pattern will continue. Complete the table showing the annual salary of each brother from the years 2005 to 2010. Now, I think I specified something. I found the language slightly difficult, alright? So what I said was that it's technically, what is it? It's technically 2005 is, that's technically the start of 2005, isn't it? Would you agree with that? And 2006 would be the start of 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Okay? When will both brothers earn the same amount? We up it by 500 every time. So 20,500, 21,000, 21,500, 22,000, 22,500, and underneath there is goes up by 1,250, 18,250, 19,500, 20,750. What do we have there? 22,000 then, yeah? And after that, 23,000. Sorry, they're both 22,000 at the same time, aren't they? Yeah. Do you see them there? When for term 5, they're both on 22,000. This specifies you could give two answers. You could say the end of 2008 or the start of 2009. So I'd go for start of 2009. I'd like to be specific, but I'd imagine 2009 would probably get you the marks, yeah. Okay. Owen claims that their salaries over the years will be represented by an arithmetic sequence. Explain what an arithmetic sequence is. What is an arithmetic sequence? I have it there. A sequence that which will go up or down by the same amount each time. I won't even write that out. A sequence that which will go up or down by the same amount each time. Okay. Do you agree with Owen? Do I think this is an arithmetic sequence? Yes, I do agree it's an arithmetic sequence because Owen's salary goes up by the same amount each year. Between every term there's a gap of 500. This means it's an arithmetic sequence. Between Peter's salary there's a gap of 1,250 between every term. This also means it's an arithmetic or linear sequence. Okay, moving on. Find in terms of n the formula that gives Owen's salary in the nth year. What does that mean, the language of that? Does that mean everything we earn together or just for 1 year? Any year they want? What do you think it means? Sorry? One specific year. One specific year implies it's the Tn formula. A plus n minus 1 times d. And we're finding Owen's salary, aren't we? So Owen's salary has a d of 500 because it goes up 500 every year. And what's the a value? Sorry? A value is 20,000. Everybody alright with that? Okay. Put it in and we get 20,000 plus n minus 1 times 500. That will give me 20,000 plus 500n minus 500. That gives me 19,500 plus 500 n. So does everybody see how that works? When we put in n equals 1, what will our answer be? When we put in n equals 1, what will happen? You'll get 20,000 because it'll be 500 plus your 19,500. N equals 2? 20,500. So it basically gives us, anytime we fill in an n value, it will tell us how much salary he made that year. As an example, see n equals 6, he's on 22,000. 22,500 Owen is, okay? So if we replace n equals 6 into this, we'll get 19,500 plus 500 multiplied by 6. That will give us 22,500. That is T6. The sixth term is 22,500. However, T6 refers to the year 2010. Perfect. Okay. Using your formula otherwise, find own salary in 2015. So 2015, I had to figure out what T value that's going to be. Well, 2011 will be 7, 12 will be 8, 13 will be 9, 14 will be 10, 15 will be 11. T11 is what 2015 will be. So I write that down. 2015 equals T11. How do you get T11, anybody? Replace n with 11. 500 times 11. And what you should get here is 25,000 euro. We okay with that? 25,000 euro for N11. Very cool. Okay. F. Find in terms of earn the formula that gives the total amount earned by Peter from the first to the nth year of the pattern. Lads, what does that mean? Does that mean TN or SN? TN or SN? Why is it SN? What's the key word that turns this into an SN question? Total amount from the first to the nth year. Okay? So, we look up our SN formula. It's an SN formula for an arithmetic sequence. 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Everybody alright with that? Now what happens next? What's our A value for Peter? A value for Peter? 17,000. And how much does he go up by each year? 1,250. Let's put it in here. We get n over 2 into 2a, which is 34,000. That is 1,250. So it's going to be 1,250n minus 1,250. Do you see I multiplied the 1250 by the n and the minus 1? Alright guys, here's the hard part. Here's the part where people start struggling and making mistakes, okay? So I take 34,000 minus that gives me 32,750, and then I have my 2,500n, okay? I can divide both of them by 2, can't I? Because no matter what I do, when I multiply it out, I have to follow that by dividing by 2. So I'm going to divide it by 2 and then multiply them by n. Is that alright? So what happens when you divide them by 2? What you get? Divide that one by 2, you're going to get 16,375. Divide that one by 2, you get 625n. I have to multiply both of these by this n here on the outside. And when I multiply it by n, what happens? It's going to be n and 625 n squared. Can anybody tell me a way to check that I'm right? There's a way to check you're right. Does anybody know of it? Does anybody know how to check that formula and guarantee I'm right? I'll show you a quick way to do it on calculator. Go to your table function. Instead of Sn, what am I going to use? If I use the table function, what am I going to have instead of Sn? F of x. Instead of n, what am I going to use? I'm going to use x, okay? Now look at this. This is the bits you don't get, okay? Start off at 1. That's how much does he make in year 1. And just end at 5, okay? Now look at this. In year 1 he makes 17,000 euro. Everybody agrees with that, yeah? In year 2, 35,250. Is that right? Well, 35,250. It's not this answer, but it's actually the first two answers added together. So that formula tells you what your first 2 years added together are. And then what about the first 3 years? If I added those 3 numbers together, what do you think I'll get? 54,750. The first 4 years added together? 75,550. Everybody see that? Any questions on that? So, this formula here gives us everything we need to know. So look, see the way it says it wants Peter from the start of 2005 to the end of 2011. That's technically T1 all the way to T11. Would you agree with that? Because we classed 2015 as T11 earlier, didn't we? We did it over here. 2010 is 6, 2011 is 7, 2012 is 8, hence 2015 is the 11th term in your sequence. Okay? So what I'd say to you is, if we find out what the 11th term is, if I just end this at 11 instead, look what happens. How much did we make at the end of 11 years? 255,750. How do I figure that out without using the calculator? All I do is I get my SN formula, which is this here, and what I can do is I can plug in 11. And this is the way you should do it, to be honest. The other way is just checking it. Multiply by 11 plus 625 times 11 squared. I actually didn't write down the answer, as it turns out, in my notes, so I'm just going to go with that. It's 255,750. Somebody check that out for me and see if it disagrees or not. Is it alright? Okay. Now, give one reason why the graph below is not an accurate way to represent Peter's salary over the period 2005 to 2011. Oh, look, lads, my salary is absolutely flying upwards. What's the real numbers at play there? It's not accurate because it's made look like a stronger increase than it is. Graph shows Peter's salary increasing throughout the year, and it also shows that it increases throughout the year. We know that it should look something more like this. It should be represented by a bar chart, I would say. I'd say if you represented his growth on a bar chart, it'd be better, because he only gets increases at the end of the year. He doesn't get it continually during the year. Would you agree with that? So midway between 2005 and 2006, he's not on the halfway point. He has to wait to the end of the year before he gets a salary increase. That makes sense? The other thing you could argue is that it's a misleading graph. Do you understand? It makes it look a lot. It makes the pay rise look a lot bigger than it is, maybe, or a lot smaller. It's hard to tell. But that's the main answer. The main answer is it should be a bar chart. It's not continuous. Okay? And yeah. Question 9. A company has calculated the costs in euro to produce X items of its production using this formula here. The total daily income from the sales of X items given by revenue function 1200X. The company produces 20 items in one day. Find the production cost and total income for the 20 items. Anybody tell me what to do there? Anybody tell me what to do? Put 20 into the C formula. Okay. Okay, guys. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hi. Now, 750 X plus 3,000. Okay. Now, what this means is it's X items. So when I replace X, when I put a number in here, this will tell me how much those items cost. So to make 20 items, all I have to do is replace in 20s here. And then I can do my formula, and my formula will tell me that it's when I replace in 20s, it will be 20,000 euros worth of production costs. It costs me 20,000 euro to make these 20 items. That doesn't mean one item costs 1,000 euro. Do you understand? You have to pay for electricity, you have to pay for your workers to be there. It's not a linear curve. So as an example, 20 costs 20,000. That doesn't mean 10 will cost 10,000. Because you can see that it's a quadratic function. It's a U-shaped function, not a straight line. So the costs compared to how many items you're making is not proportional. Everybody got that? Not proportional. Now, when it comes to selling items, however, it is proportional. If I sell one item at 20 euro and then I sell two items, it'll probably be 40 euro. The reason why I know it's proportional is there's no x squared. So your revenue function is basically 1,200 euro for every item you sell. We're going to sell, what are we going to sell? We're going to sell, we're going to get R20, because it's going to be 1,200 times 20, okay? So that's going to give me 24,000 euro income. Okay? What's the profit we made on that day, guys? It cost us 20,000 to make them, but we got 24,000 to sell them. So how much profit are we talking about making? Anybody? Oh, here. We cost 20,000 to make them. We got 24,000 for selling them. 4,000, thank you. Okay. Now guys, next thing. What we did there was we got our revenue function and we took away the cost, didn't we? Revenue minus cost. Would you agree with that? Now, here's an interesting way of doing it instead. Instead of breaking it up individually every time, if I asked you how much would 30 of them cost, how much would you make from 30 of them? You could put the 30 into the C function, then the 30 into the R function, take them away from each other, and you find your answer. But look, there's a quicker way of doing that. What we can do is this. Write down the Rx function, which is 1200x. Take away the C function. What's the C function? 5x squared plus 750x. And what else is there? 3,000. Okay. This means our profit, I'm going to call it P of x. It's our profit explained using x's. Everybody understand that? Our profit function would therefore be 1200x minus 5x squared minus 750x minus 3000. Okay. Can anybody tell me, in 1 second, can anybody tell me what shape of function is that? How do you know for certain that is an n-shaped function? Sorry? Minus x squared. Now that's interesting, alright? What that means is that when you draw this graph, if you were to draw it, what would happen is it would go up and come back down again. That means your profit has a maximum. That means it has a maximum turning point because it's n-shaped. It means your profit will have a maximum point. So it might be like something like x equals 40. When you sell 40 of them, that means that you're going to make the maximum profit possible. However, when you make 50 of them, maybe your production costs start to influence your results and they start to drag your profit down. That's what that function is trying to tell you. Okay? Now, just to check this answer, how do I check this answer? What answer do I definitely know already? I know that if I put in x equals 20, how much profit should I get? I should get 4,000 profit. 24,000 revenue minus 20,000 minus 20,000 construction costs, 4,000 profit. So when I replace this, when I put 20 in here, this should most definitely tell me it's going to be how much? 4,000, right? Let's check that out. Now once again, I'm going to take the lazy man's way out. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to, I'm just going to, what was it, 20 was it? Okay, so look what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to verify what I was talking about. And I'm going to get more information while I'm at it. Okay. Now look at this. Start at 0. Go up in 5s. I don't know. End at 40. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ready, guys? Look at this. If we make no items, we lose 3,000 euro. If we make 5 items, we lose 875 quid. If we make 10 items, we get 1,000 euro. If we make 20 items, as expected, we make 40,000 euro. That's basically replacing all the x's with 20s, and that'll tell us it's 4,000 euro. Okay? How many of these items will the company have to produce and sell in order to make a maximum profit? That word there, maximum, that's a key word. Okay? That's a key word basically meaning it's a turning point. Means your slope equals 0. Means the first derivative equals 0. If I differentiate it and put that answer equal to 0, I will find the x value that gives me the most profit. Another way of doing that, but doesn't get you as much marks, is to keep looking at your graph. It's still on its way up, isn't it? Even at 40, it's still on its way up. So I have to go back and I have to restart it at 40, and I don't know, end it at 80 and go again. 45, it's getting bigger. Look at that. Look there, lads. Do you see it? It reaches a maximum of 1,725, and then it dips back down again, doesn't it? So how many items do you make for a maximum profit? 45 items will give you a maximum profit. Anything after that, and you're starting to lose money. Is that okay? So here's how you do it. That's how you do it if you don't remember how to differentiate. If you do remember how to differentiate, here's the way you do it. You get your function here, and what you do is you differentiate it. You can call it what you want. You can call it dy dx if you want. We get minus 10x, yeah, plus 450. Everybody agreed with that? Equals, why is it equal to 0 again? Anybody explain it to me? Differentiation represents the slope. The slope is positive, and then when it hits the top, it goes flat. When the slope is flat, it's 0. Then when it's on its way back down, the slope is negative. So the slope equals 0. That's why we have this formula here. We move to 450 over the other side, and we get minus 450. Multiply both sides by minus, and we get that. Divide both sides by 10. We get x equals 45. Okay? What is this maximum profit? Okay, is what they're asking me. So, the profit function is this here. So guys, the profit function is basically that there. We have to replace it with what number? What number do we replace it with? 45. And when we replace it with 45, what happens? Oh, sorry. When we replace it with 45, what should happen? It'll give us the revenue minus the construction costs. It'll give us the profit. You put in 45s there, and lo and behold, the answer you'll get is €7,125 profit. Okay, that's great. Now finally, part F is the hardest part. By the way, that won't cut it in the exam. You actually have to show you'd have to show this here. So you'd actually have to you put all that in there. Okay, everybody alright with that? Now, question 7. The production costs on a particular day amounted to 11,000. Find the number of items produced on that day. Lads, if you weren't sure, where'd you find the production formula? What is the production formula? The production formula is the cost of production. What is that formula? It's 5x squared plus 750x plus 3000. Okay? If I put this into my calculator, once again, I'm a bit confused, just want to get myself on the board. What do? I just put this into the calculator, and this will tell me all the production costs for any amount I want. So I'll just start off at 0. I go up in 80. I go up in 5s. Okay, now look at this. I'm looking for 11,000, haven't I? Does anybody see the answer there? What number will give you 11,000? The number 10. Alright, that's if you're stuck and you're reaching for attempt marks, you don't really know what you're doing. The way for full marks, however, is you say the production costs C of X equals 11,000. It then equals 11,000. I bring the 11,000 over the other side. I get 5x squared plus 750x minus 8,000 equals 0. I divide everything by 5. And then when I divide that by 5, I get 1,600. Now, you can do it using the reference number, or you can do it using the minus b. I elected to do the minus b formula. So A equals 1, B equals 150, C equals minus 1,600. What I then look at then is this, guys. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I gotta plug it all in. Minus b is minus 150 plus or minus square root of 150 squared minus 4 times a times minus 1,600 all divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. I rewrite it again. What do I always do, guys? I just circle that. Okay? and I put it into the calculator. Once I put that into the calculator, I'm going to get 170. Now, here's the interesting thing. Is our answer for x allowed to be negative? Why is it not allowed to be negative? Because x is the number of items you make. You can't make minus 10 items. It doesn't make sense. So you only consider the plus value. We know already that the answer is 10, so you have a checking mechanism before you even begin the question. I know I need 10, otherwise I've done something wrong. So then what I get is 20 over 2, x equals 10. And you're done.